Need a little bit of warm up here. Hi, vibers. Good morning. I'm not vibing all that high right now. Um, I want to tell you about the experience that I had yesterday, and it was my I'm just gonna call him, I guess. I texted him, and I was like, "You coming by after work?" And he texted back he hadn't gone to the grocery store for beans and rice for me yet. And I said, "Well, that's okay. You don't need to worry about going to the grocery store. Can you sweep out the guinea pig pen while I make us dinner?" And he said he would come by. And I told him to text me when he's on his way so I can get dinner started. And what happened was this. um, he came in the door while I was sitting on the sofa watching anime. I was like, whoa, I thought that I must have missed his text or something because I was like paying so much attention to my anime. And it was also, it's like a submarine like battleship anime called Arpeggio Blue Steel. And I thought, like, with all the chaos going on, like, I'd just like missed the notification. And so I paused my anime and stood up and greeted him, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting you so soon. I'll pop dinner in the oven." And and he was like, "So you want me to clean the whole thing and do laundry?" And I was like, "No, man. I said to turd burgle. That just means sweep out the turds and just the small chore. You know, I've done it Monday and Tuesday, and I need a break from doing that." And he like he started doing it, and the way that we have it set up, that I've designed it, is that it's on a bed frame with under bed drawers. So what you do is pull the drawers out from under the bed frame, and I just like lift the wall and sweep it off of the edge. And he wasn't doing that. He was using the dustpan. The dustpan is like this, and the drawer is like this. And I was just like, "Dude, like, make it easy on yourself. Like do it this way. This should be easier. I want to save you energy, you know." And he got really pissed off that I was like, "Do it. Use the method that saves energy." Um, and and I was like, "Okay, that's weird." And like, the thing is that as soon as he came in and had like, and I hadn't realized that he was coming, um, I thought that I had missed a text. But when I sat back down to my phone, when he's gotten started with the cleaning, I saw that he hadn't texted me. He just showed up. And like, I felt just like really hot. Like, my body was just like suddenly just like whoosh, flooded with heat. And I wasn't angry. I was just like, okay, you know, like, I mean, I I just uh I just felt like really hot. And I like tried to like talk to him, not socializing. I was just like talking with him about like this guinea pig thing, and we're kind of like figuring out how to do it, you know, like we just got it on a bed frame. It's like a brand new pin basically as of last Sunday, like this Sunday that just passed. And so I was like, oh, that's really smart, like the way you're like pulling this side of it open, and on the open end then you don't even have to lift the wall. Like, I think I'm learning something. And like it was like every time I opened my mouth, like he just got more and more angry at me. And this is happening in like the space of like all of this is in 10 minutes. But so no, I lost my place. Sorry, I have a headache. Okay, so you know, I was just talking about like the guinea pig stuff that he was doing, and he like stopped and was like, I'm not here to socialize. Stop socializing with me. And I was like, yeah, no, dude, I'm not socializing. Like, this chore that we're trying to figure out, you know, like, I told you to use the drawers, like, this isn't socializing. I'm just in an assisting capacity speaking. And, I guess what he had meant when he, like, did that, like, I am not here to socialize. Like, I just want to fucking get out of here. Like, I guess when he did that, he meant that he wanted me to shut the fuck up, but he didn't tell me to shut the fuck up. I've learned to take that direction, but he didn't tell me that. But at that point, it was like, okay, this person is not being kind to me, not being respectful of me, not being decent. Like, there is no way that if I was his boss, I would continue to employ this asshole. This is like a ticking time bomb, like post office lunatic, like horrible energy to be around. I like, so I don't know, like I didn't think that, just like something, for some reason I returned his energy. Like, I didn't get like super cheery, I didn't raise my voice like an octave, I wasn't like, oh well, I forgive you and all that. Like, he was being pissed at me just for the fact of there being like some chore to do with the guinea pigs that, again, he begged for, he wanted. I said, no, when we're cohabitating peacefully in a house, we'll get guinea pigs. When the cats have all gone to college past, we'll get guinea pigs. And he said, I want guinea pigs, I want guinea pigs, I want guinea pigs, I want guinea pigs, let's get guinea pigs, I have money for guinea pigs, we're getting guinea pigs. Like, he so wanted the guinea pigs. This is so his choice. And so, like, it should be a shared responsibility. And, like, the sweeping out of the pin is like a, at most, 10-minute activity, so I'm not asking for a whole lot here. But it really helps me out with my physical disability, my neuropathies, my chronic pain. And so I like kind of like returned to like watching my anime, like trying to pay attention to that, and just like I like looked away from him, and I like heard the chair that I'm sitting in move. Like, I heard it slide on the floor, and I was like, don't be shoving shit around, there's a light bulb over there, you be careful of that light on the floor. And he was like, I'm not fucking shoving shit around, I moved it slowly, fuck this, I'm fucking done with this. And it was just like, are you serious right now? You know, like, he was just looking for that out. I mean, that's like really, really obvious. But like, I didn't like talk super like sweet and soft and kind to him. I said, and I used profanity. He used profanity with me, so I used profanity. And I said just like very basically, like, a very simple sentence. Don't shove that shit around. There's a light bulb on the floor over there. And he just lost it, threw everything down, stormed out. And I was like, are you really just bailing on the responsibility that we share of cleaning these guinea pigs right now? And he was like, yep, that's really what's happening. And I was like, well, that's really shitty. He was like, well, yep. And I think I don't know if I said, like, you're really shitty or that's really shitty of you. I think I said, that's really shitty. You're shitty, Sean. Fuck you. And that was, like, how we parted. So, like, the significance of this is that I met his energy, his negative vibe, his pissed offness. Like, I like, kind of matched that instead of, like, was, like, cheery and, like, oh, this isn't happening, you know, like, someone's swearing at me and speaking hatefully, like, I'm not going to, like, be super respectful and sugarcoating, like, kind floweriness in return. But, I'd watched anime all day and played Animal Crossing in the Crunchyroll ads, because there's many of those, and, it was only as he's storming out that a headache, like, just, like, phew, pops up. And it's like, well, so is the headache because of the inflammation? Like, there was an inflammatory response happening, because as soon as I realized he hadn't texted, he had just, like, barged in here, like, disrespecting something, you know, ignoring that I wanted some kind of warning. And the warning that I wanted was to put the food in the oven, but, like, subconsciously, I guess I also really needed, like, some sort of, like, bracing, or I don't know. Like, he's so, like, routinely verbally abusive that I think I did want more of a warning just for him being there. But you know, the heat that I felt, that's inflammation. And so even before, like, I was, and this is significant because even before I was returning his hatred and negativity, my body was just inflamed, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm just, like, so hot. Just, like, so hot. Am I having a hot flash, you know? And then I, like, all I can think is that because the hatefulness continued and actually escalated, and I participated in that energy, like, the inflammation caused the headache. I don't know. It's just, like, what it looks like to me is, like, I was having a lovely day. Like, oh, seriously, amazing, watching anime, playing Animal Crossing, cuddling with Grim, feeling good. Like, I was reading anime. I was watching subtitled anime. I was reading anime. I did not have a headache. And then, he was shitty to me for no reason whatsoever. I did absolutely nothing to invite such behavior or treatment. And then I had a headache. Well, I also woke up with a headache at 2:55 a.m. And I have a headache today. So it's like, did his being here, like, take me out of a safe realm, like, where I'm high vibing, and bring me down to a low realm where it's like, it's a parallel dimension. The only difference is that I have chronic headaches in this dimension, and in the dimension where I was watching anime, I didn't have chronic headaches, you know? But as I'm experiencing this, like, he bailed. He just like left the guinea pigs like on the floor in their space pods, like the cage, the pin just like not done. So like I still had to like somewhat do the chore. It was a helpful thing, but like my shoulders really need to heal. My thumb is hurting, like aching really, really badly, and I'm not sure what that's about. Because I don't really seem to use it. I don't know. And he stormed out, and I said fuck you, and I didn't immediately feel bad about saying fuck you. I didn't feel like I needed to apologize. I felt like my behavior and my words and my anger returned to him was like very well balanced and appropriate. And I was pissed. I was pissed. It's like, if I had known that he was in a terrible mood, that he was going to take this opportunity of coming over to help me with something that I asked for help with, to be hateful and abusive towards me, I would not have had him come over. Like, he let the guinea pigs just like sit and stink for a solid week and didn't do anything with them. Like, they will be okay 3 days out from the cleaning. You know, like I asked him if he could come over. At no point did he communicate to me via text that he didn't want to be doing that he didn't want to be there, that if he came over he was going to hate me. When he got here, he didn't say, I hate you, I just want to get this over with, it would be better if you don't talk to me. Like, here's the thing, is that Sean is choosing not to communicate what his limits, what his boundaries, and what his needs are. And in doing so, in choosing not to communicate, not to work on communication, not to role play as I have suggested, because I don't know any better way to do it than to role play. I don't think I could have gotten through my household with my crazy abusive alcoholic mother if I hadn't had all of that role play experience when I was inpatient therapy of how you respond to these things. Because in the moment, you're triggered to anger, but you need to not respond with anger because that escalates the situation. So, role playing, right? He refuses to role play. He's not working on communication. He's not trying to learn to communicate his needs, boundaries, limitations. And so, because he's choosing not to communicate what his boundaries are, he is choosing to be violated. And I realized that last night, and I was like, him choosing not to communicate what he needs doesn't mean that I'm violating him. There's not a boundary there, and I'm blowing past it. He's not going, well, I really don't want to come over, Mindy, and I'm begging for him to come over, trying to convince him. Like, that's not happening. I'm accidentally violating him because he's not letting me know what his boundaries are. That's his choice, to feel violated, to participate in a victim mentality. That is what he's choosing. And I was like, and I just thought, like, man, like, how awesome is it that instead of feeling triggered, suicidal, like, spinning out of control, bawling, crying, calling my mom, feeling injured, feeling hurt, I was just pissed that somebody was an asshole to me and was an asshole back to them. Like that's tremendous growth. He stormed out And I didn't have a trigger response to that. I had an appropriate anger. And I was angry for a while, and I was like, man, this is weird. Like, usually, like, I forgive him a lot faster than this. And then I talked with a friend a little bit, and all he said was, when you breathe, Mindy, he breathes. And it just like, oh, this isn't my anger. I am not the one who holds on to it. He holds on to it. I'm feeling him. Oh. And then I thought, I might cry at this, and then I thought, like, we made these soul contracts, and we chose to do this. Like, I just imagined that the Sean that made the soul contract is witnessing this and just being like, oh my God, what am I doing? What have I done? And how hard it must be to carry this out. Like if cause I was like, I took the Sean who I see rarely, but who still shows up. Some kind of otherwise specified dissociative identity disorder thing is going on. Like, he's got like a full split, and sometimes he'll show up and he'll be like, I value you so much, like you're helping me grow and you help me be a better person, and this is the sweet guy who's said, wait for me, please wait for me, I'm trying to grow up, like this is the guy who's told me that he loves me and he wants to go to counseling together. Like, this is someone who would be completely horrified by what he was doing to me. And that's why this monster exists. And that's why this monster, this domestic abuse monster, is present so often, I think, because I just can't even imagine what my sweet boyfriend of 8 years would think of himself. And currently he's dealing with depression and suicide, but he doesn't connect any of that to, oh no, I got the CBD stuff in my eyes. Okay, oh my God, oh, that's horrible. He doesn't connect his depression, his self-hatred, his suicidal thoughts to the way that he's behaving monstrously towards me. That's something that my abusers in the past have done. They've been like, oh my God, I cannot live with myself. Like, how could I have done that to you? Like, I'm horrified by it. And, maybe they hit the bottle harder. Maybe they smoke more pot. Maybe they check out for a while. And Sean doesn't seem to make that connection to why he's suicidal and depressed. That's the energy that he's putting out into the universe, and that's what he's getting back. He's consistently abusing someone. You can't abuse someone just free of consequence. That someone is you. That someone is in your life to carry out a soul contract. And so I just thought of well, as I'm helping create his reality and he's helping create my reality, if I'm trying to protect that sweet boy that I knew all those years before trauma really messed up his personality, maybe in that way I'm choosing for that monster to rear its ugly head. Maybe in that way I'm choosing for him to be numb and reaching for substances because the way that my heart hurts when I just, like, imagine what his higher self, like, must be going through. Like, Sean's not abusive. Sean's not hateful. It's just, oh God, it's just, like, so hard. And it's, like, it's so much harder to connect with him having to face being abusive to me than it feels for me to think of, like, the fact that, like, in order to lose my virginity, I raped a guy, you know? Like, that's just, like, weird, you know? But, like, I did that. I didn't know any better. I didn't realize, you know, at the time. But, like, I just feel so much pain when I connect with Sean as a human entity rather than a domestic violence monster. And before I, like, reached that empathy and compassion and was just like, oh my God, like, how can he even look himself in the mirror knowing what he's done? Knowing how he's hurt me. Like, I mean, even just the fact of, like, when I was losing my mind, when I was becoming delusional, he did all of the wrong things to feed that and make it worse. Like, if he had just Googled what to do, it wouldn't have been so bad for me. He abandoned me to a psychiatric institution that shot me up with drugs that hurt my brain even more than my traumatic brain injury. Brain was already hurt. Like, how is he supposed to reconcile that? I forgive him. I recognize that I choose my experiences. I recognize all of my experiences as opportunities for self-growth and self-awareness. An expansion of consciousness for me, an evolution of consciousness for all of the human race. He shoved spirituality away from him after becoming traumatized. He thinks it's all just crazy bullshit now. He doesn't even believe in soul contracts or twin flames or anything meant to be or anything. Like how do you reconcile that if you don't recognize that you chose this? And that I chose this, that we chose this. It's just heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking. But I'm telling you guys, before I had that, like, breakthrough where, like, God, my heart, like, now even, my heart feels so connected to his. Before I had that breakthrough, I was sitting on the sofa just like, you know, right now, I really don't care if he kills himself. Like, if that's the choice that he makes, like, that's less suffering for me. He came into my world and was shitty to me, and I now have a headache, and now I feel shitty physically and emotionally. And, like, man, I can't wait to stop knowing him. Like, I just wish like, maybe I won't talk to him for, like, a week. Like, if I, like, fuck him, you know? Just fuck him. Like, I don't fucking care if he lives or dies. Like, I didn't say drive safe, and I don't fucking care if he did. I didn't... I don't think I've ever, before yesterday afternoon, sitting there thinking that I don't care if Sean lives or dies. I don't think I've ever been able to practice such non-attachment with him in the entire time that I've known him. Well, the entire time that, like, we've been, that we were, since I fell in love with him, and since we decided to spend the rest of our lives together, and committed to one another, it's always panicked me greatly to think of him not being in my life for whatever reason. Because he's the person that I want to wake up with every day. Because every morning, I mean, like, there were... I want to say, like, 7 strong years where I don't think that there was a complete split of identity. There were 7 years before the identity split in him, in which every time I woke up and saw him and saw his face, like I was like, it was like gratitude was just like refreshed. and I was just like, this is awesome. Like, this is my best friend. I love him so much. Like, this is my best life. This is my best life. And, yeah, so I, like, for the first time since we committed to one another, I wasn't worried about Sean hurting himself. I was just angry at him. And I, of course, didn't tell him that I don't care if he lives or dies or anything like that. Like, that was just, for me to experience that was just profound. And I was just like, wow. Like, I could actually be done with this person. Like, I've done everything I can. Everything I can for him. He has all of the tools because I've given them to him. I forward all of these articles. Like, if he just, like, revered me the way he used to revere this guy that he worked with, if he just revered me the way he revered Patrick Timpone or Adam Bergstrom, if he just listened to me and allowed me to lead him, I would lead him out of hell. But he won't. and I feel like I've just done all I can do. You know? That's what I was feeling like. And then I was just like, oh, whoa, this is really ugly energy on me, but, like, this is appropriate energy, and it's good that I'm angry instead of, like, hurt and triggered and, like, oh my god, you know? Like, that was, like, yay me, gold star. And then it was just, like, that friend in text, when you breathe, he breathes. And I just, like, no more anger. No more anger. It's just done. And then as I was journaling about my day, and then I got to watch anime and play Animal Crossing, I just, like, had such a great day, except for this one little thing that happened. I found myself turning over the things, this incident in my head, and that was when I realized it's not on me to not violate someone's boundaries and push them beyond their limits if I'm not aware of what those boundaries and limits are. I'm not doing anything wrong here. So I guess that's why I would be feeling like I've done all I can, and I'm just, like, ready to blow this popsicle stand, because how am I supposed to navigate? How am I supposed to play, you know, a tactics game with invisible people on the board? One of his favorite games is Final Fantasy Tactics. I didn't play Tactics, I played Tactics Advance. So that is, that's just what happened. That's just what happened. And I feel like crying is, like, helping clear things out of me. It feels good to cry, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I'm not really sure what to call this video, because it's kind of like soulmate, twin flame, domestic violence. DID. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do that. I'm like debriefing myself. Like, it's out of me now. And it's important to get it out of me, because not that I don't love you, but, like, I have brain damage. And if I don't record myself saying this, then I can't go back and look at myself and have me now informing future me of what's going on, you know? Like, if I can kind of remember that I made a video, which is noted in my journal and my email, like, if I can kind of remember that I made a video about, like, feeling for the first time, I don't care if he lives or dies, you know, like, then the next time I feel like that, if it freaks me out, I can go find this video and like, hear it from the horse's mouth. So I sincerely do hope that it helps you also. Whatever I share of my perspective, I want my negative experiences to be transmuted into positive energy by using them to enable, invite, encourage healing and self-awareness. So thank you guys. Love. I know I don't even do it good. I don't have a good self-awareness of my body, but love and light. Bye-bye.